Uh, Hi everyone. Am I audible? You guys can write in the chat if I am audible, and we'll wait for a couple of minutes. Like people are joining now, so we'll wait for another few minutes. Meanwhile, you can write with whether I'm audible or not. Write in the comments. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So guys, am I audible or not? You can write in the comments. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I hope I'm audible. So we'll wait for another 2-3 minutes, and then we'll start with the today's boot camp, like the day two of the boot camp. And this boot camp will be quite interesting. मतलब आज we are going to implement, like mentor is going to implement the logic, the brain to the game. So let's see how it goes, and we'll wait for another few minutes, and then we'll start with the session. So people are joining. So just a second. Okay. So you guys can also ask your friends to join this session, and we'll we'll take things forward. And yeah, take care. So we'll start with the session. Okay. So hi everyone. Today is the day two of the boot camp, and this especially this day we are going to implement, like the mentor is going to implement the brain, the logic behind the game, and there will be one assignment as well, where which you guys need to work upon the assignment, and that assignment is particularly based on the game which the mentor has made during the boot camp. So we will be sharing the entire guideline, the instruction, how one can build the assignment, and where they need to submit it. So all the communication will be shared via email and on the WhatsApp community as well. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So before wasting any time more, so we'll invite our mentor. Okay. So hi. So am I audible?
Yeah, hi Sanskar.
Hi, hi. So, sir, we'll wait for couple of minutes, let's say 2, 3 minutes, and then we'll start. Meanwhile, we can discuss like a bit about जो हमने लास्ट डे कवर किया था. सो हमने जो लास्ट डे में जो चीज़ें कवर की, वी कैन डिस्कस अ स्मॉल पोर्शन ऑफ दैट कि क्या क्या चीज़ अभी तक हमने इम्प्लीमेंट किया था.
Okay, sure.
या
Yeah, so let me just share my screen with you guys.
राइट.
Yeah, can you see the screen, Sanskar?
यस, आई कैन सी द स्क्रीन.
Cool. Okay. So just to give a quick recap over here, yesterday we started building a game, and we were just started with the scene over here, right? So I told you guys regarding the scene. This is the scene that we have. Like this is the entire gameplay in which I'll be playing my game. I'll be moving around, doing some tasks, right? So it is regarding that over here. So basically, over here we had a player. So you see the player that we have created. This one. This was the player which were having some animations and all. If I run the game from this play button over here, you see that my player is now in the motion, and I can actually walk around in my scene and do something, right? So basically, I told you guys that whenever we are creating a game, there should be a purpose. So today we're gonna be discussing about the purpose over here, right? So today we're gonna be understanding two like majorly two to three things over here. First thing we're going to be discussing about that, let's say this player is just wandering like here and there, but it doesn't have a purpose. So I have to give some purpose to this player over here, right? That will be like the task of the game. So let's say right now, if I just come back over here, so you see some coins are here, right? So maybe I can say that these coins that you see over here, I can make my player collect these coins, right? So whenever I am adding a logic of coin collection, maybe I need to have some, I can have some score system, I can have some timer system, anything like that, right? So we're going to be implementing a timer. I'll be implementing how to collect coins. I'll also be implementing the UI part today, right? So we're going to be seeing all of this in today's session. And yeah, I guess that's a bit of a recap. And I guess, Sanskar, we are good to go. Like we can start up with the today's class, right?
Right, right. We can start with the today's class. And meanwhile, I do have received few of the questions from the students as well. So we'll
Mhm.
discuss that at the end of the, matlab, at the
If there
end
are
or
if there
maybe.
are any doubt, if there is any doubt that has been encountered by someone, you can share it right now. We'll first address the doubt.
Okay, okay. So there are
Yeah.
two things. Like one of the doubt which we received from the student. So he mentioned that he is facing some problem while adding that drag and drop on a folder. Okay. So the thing is, I received
Okay.
the query is key in the video as Sir had told that drag and drop a folder, but I'm unable to do that. Whenever I'm doing it, so
Okay. So
it's
if
mentioning I
if
can't do that.
in the project section the drag and drop is not working, right?
Right, right.
So what you can else do is you can just go on the assets section over here, and you can click on import package and just click on custom package, and the package that you have downloaded, just click on that, and that will be imported. So you can do
Oh,
this way also. Okay.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it. So hope Rishu, the student name is Rishu. So hope that issue has been solved. You can try this method. You can import using the option given over there. So the next is key. These are the few question which is based on the career perspective and that how one can start into the game development. So the
I guess
first
that we
question,
can take at the end of the session if these are
okay,
related to the game dev journey and all, right?
right, right, right. So that
Sure.
can be
Yeah. We
taken once you have completed the
yeah
project part.
exactly. So it's more like an FAQ, right? So we can take
Right,
it
right,
there. And other people, those who have joined over here, if you have any doubt related to any queries regarding this game development part, so you can feel free to drop a query in the chat. We will take it up at the end of the session. Okay.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So over to you, Adhiraj sir. You can continue with the today's bootcamp. And
Sure. Sure.
meanwhile,
Yeah.
once the bootcamp is ended, we will share the assignment as well in the community and via email.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so guys, as I have discussed that in today's session, we're going to be doing two, three things that we will be able to understand how to do the scripting part, right? So first of all, the scripting part in whenever you are using Unity, you will be using C sharp language, right? So I'm just going to first of all give you a quick glance that how to integrate scripts with the Unity, right? So for example, in my project folder, I'll be creating all my scripts, right? So first of all, what I'll do is I'll just I need to add a new script, right? So I'll just right click on the assets folder and I'll create a first of all I'll create a new separate folder for my personal scripts and all, right? So I'll create a scripts folder over here. Now inside this scripts folder, I'll be keeping all my scripts, right? So I'll now again right click on the scripts folder and I'll click on create and C sharp script. So from here, you will be creating and adding scripts. Now this is just uh, making a script. It's not like adding the script in the game. So I have created a script over here, right? Now I will be giving some name to this, right? So let's first of all test something out. So let's say I just give the name to the script as test. This is just for the testing purpose. Okay. So I'm not doing anything with this. I'm just testing this out. That how to connect a script with this. So I'll just give it a name as test and I'll just double click on it. So once it is compiled and all, I'll just double click on it and it will open. So it will take some time to load, to compile and all. And once it is done, so it will open in the Visual Studio like this. Yeah. So it will look something like this. Now, initially, whenever you open a script, you will see some predefined code that is written over here. You don't have to worry about it. It is very simple to understand. Okay. By default, so we have these methods or functions in our program in our programming language, right? So by default, we will be getting two default methods that are there. One is start and one is update. Okay. Now these are some inbuilt Unity methods. I don't have to like the start method over here is basically whenever you want to execute some code when the game starts. So you can write that inside this method. If you want to execute some code again and again and again repeatedly, you can do that inside the update. And there are a lot of other inbuilt methods that we can directly use and start writing the code, right? I can create my own method also, but these are some predefined inbuilt methods that the Unity has, right? So over here, this is the entire thing that you see. So first of all, I'll be telling you guys how to integrate your scripts with the game. So whenever you have created a script, you need to attach it in your scene. The scene that you see over here, you have to attach it to some game object or something like that. So let's create a right click on the hierarchy and let's create an empty game object just to show you guys how the scripts is going to work. So let's create an empty game object. Let's call it test. Like it is nothing. It is empty. Nothing is there. This game object I'm just creating to attach the script. So I'm just going to drag and drop the script on the test. So now my script is going to be working in the game. Like now it is attached to some game object that is present in the scene, and this script is going to execute. Okay. So if I double click on the script again, I'll open it again. So let's say I want to do something out. Let's say I want to do something when I play the game. I just want to, let's say, write something on the terminal or the console. So I'm just going to say debug.log. So this will print something on the terminal. And I want to print something like hello world, right? The initial step whenever we are going into some programming language, we always start with the hello world. So I say whenever I start the game, I want to print hello world on my console. So I write this line over here, I save, I go back, and now you see the test script is attached on this test game object, which is in the active scene. And now if if you see over here in the console, I'll just clear it out. If I run the game, as soon as I run the game, you see that the hello world has been printed over here. That means my script is now working. Okay. So start is basically when the game starts. Okay. Let's see update also. What if I write this line of code in update? Okay. So when I write this line over here and I save this and I go back, now if I just clear the console over here and let me just play the game again. Now you see if I go to the console, let me just collapse it. So you see the count over here. This is increasing rapidly. Like with every second, I am printing a hello world. That means my code is working again and again and again. So that's update. So my hello world is printing multiple times. It's had been printed 7,000 times till now. Okay. So that's how you understand update. Now, apart from start and update, I have a lot of methods we're going to be discussing. We're going to be creating our own methods and everything. So now I'm just going to go back. I'm just going to delete this test game object. This was just for the understanding. And now let's start actually creating the scripts that are related to our project. Okay. So I'll just clear this out. And now the first thing that I want to do is, so if I just go and zoom it a bit over here, so I see coins over here, right? The first thing I want to do, so this is the coin game object that I see over here. This is the coin. Let me just drag and drop it outside. Like I just want to work with this. So just to show you guys so that you don't get confused, I have dragged it dropped outside. And maybe I just, for the sake of understanding, I'll just delete this game object. I'll just keep one coin in the scene and I'll also delete this game object. I just have one coin now. Okay. And I'll just place it in front of this player somewhere here, right? So now what I want to do is I want my player to collect the coin. Okay. So that is the first logic I want to implement. I want my player to collect the coin. Now, what is collecting? Whenever you play a game, whenever you see something is happening with the, let's say you are playing some runner games like Temple Run or this Subway Surfers. What happens in that? The player is running and there are few coins in front of it. Whenever the player comes in the contact with the coin actually disappears, right? So that's give the feeling that okay, the coin has been collected by the player. That's what happens. So we're gonna do some similar logic over here. I want as soon as my player. So this is my player over here. This one, third person controller. This is the player over here. As soon as this player, let me just bring it down over here. And let me just rename it also so that you guys can see coin. As soon as this player over here collides with this particular coin, I want this coin to disappear so that I get the feeling that the coin has been collected by the player. That's what I want to do. That's how the game logic will look like, right? So, how will I do it? So, basically, it all depends which script I am creating and the script I am attaching on which game object. If I am attaching a script for the coin collection on the player, I'm thinking from the perspective of player that okay, I am the player. Whenever I collide, what is the collision logic that we're gonna see? Whenever I collide with the coin, I want that coin to disappear. What if I am attaching the logic on the coin? So I'm thinking from the perspective of coin that whenever something which is player collides with me, I will disappear, right? So that's how you will think about it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be creating a script over here. Okay. So this script will be responsible for the coins, like behavior of coins, coin getting disappeared, coins getting collected, coins maybe rotating some animations of the rotation over here, right? So that is the first logic I would be creating over here. So let's first of all go in the scripts folder. I'll right click, I'll create a C# script, and I'm going to give it a name as coin. So this is the coin script. And I'm going to be attaching it with the coin. So I'm going to go to the coin and I'll just drag and drop the script in anywhere in the inspector, like over here. So now this coin script is attached with this. Now, whatever is written inside the coin script will happen on this coin. Okay. Whatever is written inside the coin script will happen on the coin. So I'll double click on the coin and I can start writing my code inside this coin. I'm just going to close this one. Okay. That's it. So this is the uh, start and update. I can just choose to remove this. I have empty class over here, and inside the class, I can start writing my code. So this is the class point. Inside this, I can start writing my code. Okay. Now, first thing what which I want to do is I want that my coin, apart from collecting, I want first of all maybe I want to rotate the coin, right? So let's see how I can rotate the coin. So basically, what I want to do is if I go to the coin, if I select this rotate tool, so basically I want to rotate my coin like this, correct? Green. So what is green? What is this green axis? If you see in the transform, what is happening? Now you on the y-axis, it is rotating, like it is basically changing the values on the y, right? And on the y-axis, it is changing the values every frame, like on every frame, it is changing the values. That means I want to do something in the update. I want to change the value on the y-axis of the coin every second or every frame. So that is what I want to do. So what I'll do is I'll I'll just add my update method again. So this was the update method. Whatever I write inside this update method will have happen every frame, right? So what I want to do is I want to add some speed to the rotation speed to the coin. So I'll create one variable. I hope everyone is familiar with the concept of variables over here, right? So I'll create a variable over here. And how do we write? What are the syntax of C sharp? We are not concerned about that. So I'm just going to tell you in brief. First, I will write public so that I can see this thing in the inspector and I can modify the value from there also. And now the type of data I want to put in. I want to add a float type value. So public float, and the name of the variable is rotation speed. Initially, I'll say the speed is 0. So I have created a variable over here. Okay. Now, once this variable is there over here, I want to add a rotation. So I have a formula to rotate, right? So what I'll do is I'll take the, so if I go back, I will basically take the transform of the particular coin. So I'll say transform dot. So I have a method over here. Transform dot rotate. Okay. So in this, I can pass some rotation, right? On which axis I would pass. So you see over here, if I just, so I can pass on X, Y, and Z, right? So on the X, I don't want any rotation. So on X axis, I'll say 0. No rotation on the X axis. On Y, I want some rotation. Okay. And I want to rotate it with some speed. So what speed I want? I want whatever is the rotate speed, rotation speed. Okay. And on Z axis, it will be again 0. Okay. So if I save it, if I go back and now, if you see over here in the coin script, I have got this rotation speed variable, right? And I can actually add some speed over here. Let's say, for example, I'll say the speed is 5. And if I now play the game, so you see the coin is now rotating on the y-axis with speed 5. If I just say 3 over here, and if I run it again, so now it is the speed is. So I can also do it change it on the runtime. I say 2, so that it has increased decreased a bit, right? If I say over here as 10, this coin is moving very fast. But right now, what you also need to do is I will also multiply this factor of rotation speed with time dot delta time. Why? Because right now the speed of the coin is dependent on the speed of like my computer is might be fast, the processing of my laptop is fast, so it is dependent on the frame rate of what my computer. So if I make the game and you are playing the game on some slow PC or slow laptop, it will rotate differently over there. To make it frame independent, I would multiply it with time to delta time. Okay. So that's it. I'll just say now if I say 5 is the speed, now this speed will be constant across all the other machines. So right now it is very, very slow. So I'll just make it maybe 20. Now if I run it, I guess it should be 40, 50. I guess 100 is fine. So let's make the speed as 100. Okay. So I'll unplay it. So the rotation speed would be 100. Now if I run the game, now the coin is spinning with this speed. Okay. So basically now you see over here, if I run the player, now you can see that the player is actually rotating. Okay. So it is giving a very, cool effect. And right now what you see is whenever I'm trying to go near my coin, it is actually behaving like it is actually it's like a solid object that is placed in front of player. I'm not able to do anything with it, right? So basically what happens is whenever you make any object in the unity, it actually have a mesh around it, right? So you can't see right now any mesh, but actually it is a solid object, right? If I want that whenever my game object is should not be, colliding with some other things, the other thing should pass from it. Like the mesh should not stop it. What you can do in that case is you go to the coin. In the inspector of the coin, you go to the mesh collider, okay, and you check this is trigger. Okay. If I now run the game and if I now bring my player near it, so now you see the player is passing through the coin. It is not actually pushing it. See, it is actually passing through the coin, right? So basically whenever my player is running on the subway surfer, the the coin doesn't collide with the player and make it behave, push it from the track, right? The player actually collides with it and it collects it. So that you see the now the player is perfectly moving in and out of it, right? So I hope things are clear till now and you guys are not facing any issue, right? And yeah, next up, we just need to do something related to the collections, right? How will I make it collect? How will I my player will collect it? So it's again very simple. I'll say that. So I have my player over here in the coin, right? So right now, this script over here is attached on the coin. So I'll say that whenever I detect the player is colliding with me, right? Whenever the player is colliding with me, I will just disappear so that it gives the feel of collecting, right? So what I'll do is there is a method over here in the Unity on trigger enter. Okay, on trigger enter. So trigger enter as in, so I have checked the on trigger now, on trigger. So whenever the player triggers with the coin, this method is gonna get called. Okay, but how will I know that this is the player? How will I know that? So for that, I can basically give a tag to my player so that I know that, okay, this is my player. So you click on this player, third person controller. You go to this tag option and you give a player tag to this. I can detect my player with a tag. Okay. So now if I say that, so it is going to be stored in this other variable. So if I say if other dot game object dot tag, if the tag of the other game object which is triggering with me is equals to player. If the other object is player, then I will be this dot game object dot set active false. So this is how I will be using a set active method and I will be saying that set active false. So it is saying that when the other player I'm colliding with, if the tag of that object is player, because there are other entities also that can trigger with the coin, right? I just want my player. Whenever my player is triggering, I want myself to uh, set active as false, right? So now if I try, and if I try to go near the coin, so you see the coin disappeared. Let me just show you again. So if I run it again, you see over here. Now see, look carefully. So whenever I go near the coin, and whenever the player is getting collided, or like on trigger enter is called, right? So whenever it is triggering with the coin, so if I go near of the coins, and see, it disappears. It's like the player collected the coin, right? So that's how I have created a logic of coin collection, right? I hope you guys understood that how this logic is working. I'm just saying, if this when this method will be called, when this coin object will trigger with something. So if it is triggered with this player object, then I want my object. What is my object? My object is coin, because it is attached on the coin, right? So it is going to get this, it is going to get set active as false. Okay, so I'm making that particular game object as set active false, right? And I can now create multiple coins. I can place it around in the scene, and I can just go and I can collect. So this is the first thing that we have done. Second thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding a timer logic, maybe, right? Maybe I can add a timer logic in which you can say that, okay, there is this timer going on, and I have to collect all the coins in that particular limit of time. If I don't collect it, I will lose the game. If I collect it, I win the game, right? So let's do that logic now. But to do the timer logic, I also want to show the timer on the scene, right? So it's a new thing. It's a new object, right? So whenever I want to show some text, whenever I want to show some, some these are the UI elements. So whenever you want to create a UI element in the scene, you will be needing a canvas, because that's where you will be writing something. Okay. So for basically creating a text on the screen, what you're going to do is you're going to right click in the in the demo scene. You go to UI, and you go to legacy and text. Okay. So this is a text component which will automatically add a canvas, and then the text will be added. So I click on text. So you see a canvas has been added, and then the text has been added, right? Now I'll just rename this to as timer text. Okay. Now if I double click on it, and let me just switch it back to the 2D. So you see the text is written over here, right? But it is written somewhere in the else in the world. I want to bring it over here. So you see, this is the canvas. This is the canvas that has been added, and this is the game scene. Okay. So what I do is, I will first change some settings of the canvas. I'll say scale with screen size. So if the scale size increases or decreases, my canvas will readjust accordingly with that, right? So I'll go to my timer text again. So right now the timer text is somewhere else. Like I wanted to center it. I wanted to center it over here, or maybe on this side. So I will be setting the position. So you see X and Y are somewhere else only. So I'll set it to 0 and 0. Okay. And then, yeah. So now, I guess the font is very small. So maybe I can try to increase the font a bit. Let me just make the width as 500, this as 300. And you see now the text is now coming over here. And I will also anchor. So this is the anchor. I'll just say Command Shift, and I'll anchor it on the top, middle top. Okay. And then set the position to 0 again of this. Okay. And now in the properties of the text, I can change something, like I can change the font type. So you have some font option over here. Okay. You can choose a different font style, font size. I'll say 50 so that you can see it properly. I can also center align it. I can also make sure that things are working fine with this, and maybe this one. And then this is the text that you want to write over here. So I'll just say initially the timer will be 00. So it will look something like this. Okay. Or maybe you can place it on the side, any side you want, right? Uh, yeah. So I guess this looks fine. So now I have added a text element. I have added a text element on my scene now. Whenever you play the game now, whenever I play the game now, see, I can now see it. I can see now a timer on the top. Like I will add the code, I will add the code logic to make the timer run. But right now, there is a timer that is being shown on the screen, right? So that I can have that, I can say that, okay, you have 1 minute to collect all the coins. Okay, so that will give a rush to the player to collect all the coins in 1 minute. Okay, so next up, let's add the logic for this timer text now. That how will I make this timer? How will I make a countdown timer? Okay, so for that, I'll be creating a new script that will be responsible for the countdown timer. Okay, so let me just go to the scripts again. I will create a C sharp script again. Create C sharp script, and let's call it countdown timer. Okay. So countdown timer is the script, and I will be attaching this script with my time because I want changes on this timer text now. So I will drag and drop it on the time anywhere. Like I can just put it over here also. So this countdown timer is now attached with this timer text. So whatever the logic I will write in the countdown timer will now apply on the text. Okay. So I will just delete these methods for now. Okay. Now let's try to write the logic over here. That how will I do that? Okay. So first of all, whenever I want to do some changes on the UI part, I need to have the reference of that thing. Okay. So I need to tell the script that this is the object I want to make changes on. Okay. So I need to take a reference of that particular thing. How do I take a reference? Very simple. I'll say public. And what thing I need to take a reference? I need to take a reference of a text object. So I'll say text. Okay. Okay. So I need to import one more namespace over here. Just a second. It's just loading for a bit. Just give 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. Cancel. Okay. So I just need to say that I need to import one more namespace unityengine.ui. So this UI is going to be having all the UI elements, right? So now I'll say public text and then I can just say, give some name to this, right? So I'm going to say remaining time. Now this is the text I want to change on the UI. Okay. So this is the reference of that particular text. So if I go back to my game, you see now that if I just refresh it again, okay, this should be, go back again. Yeah, okay, save it. It should be timer text actually, not, yeah, okay. So now if I say, see over here, so timer text. So now you see an option over here that yes, I need to add a text over here. So I will say that on which text I want to make changes on. So I'll say this text I want to make changes on, right? So timer text, I give the reference of the timer text over here, right? Next up, I would be creating some logic to make a countdown timer, right? So how will I do it? Uh, First of all, I'll be saying there will be a public int minutes. I would be needing some minutes and the public int seconds. I would be needing some seconds over here, right? Now, I would be also needing one more variable. I'll tell you why. So I'm going to create a private float remaining time. Okay, these are the variables that I have created, which will be used now in my code. Okay, so what is the logic over here? So first of all, what I want to say is I want that whatever, so I'll say in the start method. So whenever the game starts, what I want is I want to get the remaining time, right? So I want to get the remaining. How would I get the remaining time? Very simple. I'll just say minutes. into 60, okay, plus seconds. So this will give me a remaining time. Okay. So I will now store this in the variable remaining time. So as soon as my game starts, I will just get my how much time is remaining and I will display that. Okay. And I also need to create a method to update my timer, right? And I need to call, I can write that in the update also, or I can create a different method and I can call that method in the update. So I'll say void update text. So this is my method. This is a custom method over here, right? It's not the Unity method. This is my method. Okay. And update timer text actually. Now this update timer text is going to be doing something like just getting the time, right? So over here, I can just say int, I'm just going to create a variable display minutes equals to. So I need to convert also, like I will be getting the value in the float. Okay. I need to convert it into int. So I'm going to be using mathf dot uh, float to int, and just going to get the remaining time, and this is for the minutes over here, so I'll divide by the 60 because I'm calculating in the down, like it's like a countdown thing, right? So I'll get the minutes, and how will I get the seconds? So display seconds will be equals to again mathf dot float to int, and I'm just going to get the remainder over here, remaining time, ampersand. So whenever you want to get the remainder, we use this ampersand over here, ampersand 60. That's how I will get my remaining time and minutes and seconds, and I will be displaying it over here. So on which thing I want to display? I want to display it on the this timer text over here. So I'll say timer text dot text. So I want to change the text of the timer text. So that will be equals to. So I need to display this on the timer text. So I will be using a method over here, string dot format. Okay. So this will help me to display the string on the uh, on the text which I have created in the UI. Okay. So basically, what we do is we create like placeholders like this. Okay, so whatever I want to display over here, so I'll just say initially I'll just say 00. Okay, and in the second placeholder, I would want to display. Okay, and I want to fill this placeholder values. The first placeholder I want to fill with display minutes, and the second one I want to fill with display seconds. That's it. So this is the logic for the countdown timer. And this update is now going to be, I'm going to call this method in the update so that it actually reflects with every frame. Okay. And also in the start also, I'll update my timer text, right? I'll also call it in the start. And also in the update, I will add a logic over here that my remaining time will be, uh, I will add a logic over here that just a second. Before actually updating the timer text, I also need to check what if my time is zero. What will I do when the timer is zero? What if my timer is not zero, right? I need to check that in the update, right? So before calling it, I'll just say if my remaining time is greater than zero, that means I have some time. In that case, what I need to do, I need to just subtract the time every second, right? So I'll just say my remaining time will be minus equals to time because time dot delta time is every frame, right? So it is going to be reducing uh, the time has been passed since we have been playing the game, right? And yes, now I can update my time text. Okay. Else, what if uh, this is not true? So I'll set my remaining time to zero. Okay. And again, I'm just gonna update the timer text over here. Okay. So if I go back, Go to the game scene again. I'll run the code. So I have to set the time also. So right now it is 00. Let's say I set for 1 minute and 10 seconds. So I'll save it. So there it is. So now the countdown timer has begun. I have this much time left to collect all the remaining coins. Like you can duplicate the coins, right? And you can place. So you can what you can do is just do select the coin and do Control D to duplicate, right? So now I have this coin over here, somewhere here, right? I have, let's say, this coin over here. So I have duplicated multiple coins, and I have to basically, before the time ends, I have to just go and I have to collect all the coins. So I have collected one coin, I have collected two, something like this, right? So you can place the coins anywhere you want in the world, right? And the timer is running. You can set the values of the timer from here, right? From here. Okay. So this is the logic for the timer over here. Okay. And next up, we're gonna be discussing about what if I lose the game, what if I win the game, right? That is the next part. So I'm just gonna be giving another introduction to the UI over here. That I want to create a screen now. Like I have created a UI, I want to create a screen now. Okay. So, or a panel, right? So, what you do is you go to the canvas again, you right click, you go to the UI, and you want to create a panel over here, right? So, click on panel, and the panel I'm going to be creating is, let's say, game over. Okay. So, maybe I have collected the coins, maybe I have not collected the coins, depends on the logic that you are creating. But let's say, once it is finished, I have won the game or I have lost the game, and then the game over screen will appear, right? Now on the game over screen, you see the some faded thing as like if I just you see it is working like this, and you can create multiple scenes actually over here, right? So what I'll do is instead of creating this as uh, a panel over here, maybe I'll just first create a maybe you want to expand it, right? So maybe I'll just create a UI and panel first. Okay. And I'm just gonna, not a panel actually, I'm gonna create an empty game object. So I'm gonna click on canvas and I'm gonna say create empty. Okay. So this is something to manage all the screens that you might have in the game, right? So I'm gonna say game screens. Okay. And then inside the game screens, I'm gonna create another panel, UI panel. This will be my game over screen. Okay. So right now you see that it is coming very like a box. I want to expand it to the entire screen. So right now the parent over here is actually very small. So I'll click on this and I'll do a stretch from here. Okay. And once stretch is done, I'll say on the left it is 0, 0, right 0, bottom 0. Okay. Now it is stretched on the entire canvas. And maybe I can go to the game over screen. I can change I can click on this color over here, and uh, I can increase the alpha a bit to make the opacity change according to me, right? So now the background scenes are disappeared. I can add some different color you want from the color wheel, right? And on this screen, what I want is a button, right? I want a button. So I'll go to the UI and I'll go to the legacy and I'll add a button. So the button has been added, and let's say this is the restart button. That the game is over, I want to restart. Okay. So then the button name is restart. If I open the button, you see a text inside this. So whatever is written in, I want to change the text to restart. Okay. So now whenever I click on this button, I want my game to restart again. I want my scene to restart again, right? So how can I do that? Let's understand that logic now, that how we're gonna be doing the restart. Okay. So basically, right now, what you see is a scene, right? The scene is there. I want to basically reload my scene again. That's what the logic behind of restart is, right? So what I want is I want this when I click on this restart button, I want my scene to load again. As simple as that. Okay. So how will I do it? Let's see. So initially, I'll say that this game over screen will be disabled, right? I will just see my player, just play my game, and I want to enable it when my timer is over, right? My timer is over, and the same thing you can replicate if the coins are collected. But I'm just going to show you for one thing. You can do it anywhere you want, right? So I'll say whenever my timer is over. Now this is might be a bit, you know, medium level kind of thing, but might be useful. So I'm just showing you that this is how things are done, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go and I want to add a logic over here. What logic I want is I want. So just listen to this point very carefully. I want to add a logic over here that as soon as the timer is over, I want to throw some message to all the scripts that timer is zero now. And whoever wants to listen that the timer is zero, that script can listen. And then whatever I want to do with that okay, now the timer is zero. I want to show the display. I want to show the game over panel. That's what I want to do now. So what I'm going to do is inside my this script I have created, this timer script I've created, I'm going to create an action. So the actions are like a part of C sharp. You can we can learn in detail later on, but right now I'm just telling you there is one thing called actions. I can create an action over here. Okay, so uh, what the action is gonna saying is I'm just gonna show you with the code over here. So let's say I create a public event action. Okay, and let's give it a name on timer finished. Okay, I need to import something for this systems. Yeah. So I need to import this line for action. Okay. So I have created an action over here. Okay. Now I want this action to execute at some point of time. At what point of time I want it to execute is when my timer is zero. So in the else part, I'm gonna write on timer finished. I want to, so this is the syntax that how we write it in C sharp. I'll write on timer finished and then question mark and dot and then invoke. Okay, so this is like the syntax that I'm saying that as soon as the timer becomes zero, I want to this script to basically send a message to all the other, like just emit it that timer has been finished. Okay, now anyone can go and anyone can listen it. Now, which script I want to listen, that is something now we need to work on. Okay, so I will now go back to my game again over here. So I'll create a new script, C sharp. Let's call it manage scenes. Okay. And this is going to be attached on my game screens. Okay. So this is the uh, new script which I have attached over here. Let's open it. Okay. Now over here, I'll be adding the logic for uh, different things that I will be performing, right? So first thing I'm going to be doing over here is I want to display some message, right? I want to display some message over here. So not display the message, but I want to execute when I receive some message. I want to execute something when I receive some message, right? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to first of all say public game object and game over screen. So I'm going to take the reference of that particular screen that I've created, right? Game over screen. So once I have taken the reference over here, so I'll go back, I'll save it. save it and go back. So this is the screen I'm taking a reference of. Okay, now I have the reference of this screen and I can do something with this. I can enable it, I can disable it, whatever I want, right? So now the message that I have implemented was in this countdown timer, right? So I also need to take the reference of this countdown timer also. So I'm going to say public and the type of the script I want to take is a reference of his countdown timer, and I'm just going to call it countdown timer. Okay, I also need the reference of this countdown timer because I'm listening from that particular script, right? So over here, I can also attach this particular game object because this is having that particular message. Okay. Now, what I want to do is now over here, I will be subscribing to that particular event that has been event. Like once it sends the message, I want to hear it or I want to receive it. When do I want to receive it? I'll just hear it in on enable. So this is again one method when the script is enabled. This method is called. So how do I listen to this? I'll say countdown timer dot on timer finish. This was the method I created. I want to like see this thing. So I need to create one more method over here, which will do something with me. So I'll say private void handle timer finished. Okay, so this is a method over here. So this is gonna do something. Just for an example, I'm just gonna write just to check things, everything is working fine. I'm gonna say debug log hello. Let's see if hello is get printed or not, right? So when the on timer finished is received, I'm gonna add this plus equals to handle timer finished. So that's how I do it in the C sharp. Don't worry about syntax. And when I subscribe to some event, I also need to unsubscribe it from it, right? So I want to unsubscribe it on disable. So I'm just going to copy this line again. And how do I unsubscribe? I'll say minus equals to. Okay. So as soon as the timer is finished, I want this statement to get printed. So I'll just go back. I'll just say timer text. I'll just change the value to not 1 minute, but let's say only 5 seconds because I'm testing right now. So I'll run the game. I'll go to the console and let's see after 5 minutes, sorry, 5 seconds, I'm getting hello. Okay. So that means after 5 seconds, I am getting some event. On that event, I want to do something. What do I want to do? I don't want to debug. I want to just say the game over screen should set active true. I want to enable it. When the timer is over, I want it to enable it, right? So now if I go back, if I run it again, so now I'm like having my game, I'm running, I'm going to collect my coins, but oh, 5 seconds are over. My game is over. So restart. Okay. So this is the button now. The last step of this thing, I just need to program this now. What should I do when I click on this restart button? Okay. What should I do? I need to reload it. Okay. So over here only I'll just so this is it'll just take 5 more minutes and then we are done. So basically, whenever I click on this restart button, I want to reload the scene. So how do I do it? I'll just create a method over here, public void on click restart button. Okay. So this is the method. I will attach this method on the button. So whenever the button is clicked, this method will be called. What do I want to do? So whenever I am dealing with the scenes and all, na, so I need to have a namespace imported, Unity engine dot scene management. This will help me to deal with all the demo scenes, the one that we have seen, sample scenes, everything will be handled by the scene management. Okay. So I will say scene manager dot load scene. Okay. So whenever I click on the restart button, I want to load scene. Which scene I need to load, I need to mention it over here. Okay. So the current active scene that I have, I want to load that only. How do I get the current active scene? I'll just say scene manager dot get active scene. Okay, dot name. So that's how you will get the current scene. Whatever the scene is active currently, it is going to get that scene and it is going to reload that scene, load that scene again. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's how you do it. Okay. And also, I'm going to say uh, the current object. So it is currently attached on yeah, this one, game over panel. So game over screen dot set active false. I also want this restart game screen to disable, right? So now if I go back to the button, so where is the button over here? In the game over scene, I have this restart button. So this is the button component, and you see over here, I can attach methods to this. So I'll just click on new thing, new plus button, and I will just drag and drop this game screens object. I go to manage scenes and on click restart button. Okay. So I have applied the method on the button over here. Okay. Now if I run the code again, so my countdown timer is over. I have my game over screen, restart. I click on restart again. The timer has restarted again. My game has reloaded again, right? If I click on restart, see, it is working perfectly fine. Okay. So basically, this is a very simple thing we have created. We have created a player who have to collect a coin before the timer is over. If you can decorate the screen as you want, like it's completely fine. You can add, you can right click over here. You can go to UI again. You can go to the legacy again. You can go to the text over here, right? And you can just, I'm just gonna make it as a message, and let's make it center on the top. Okay, and zero center align and give a message. Game is over. Okay, and maybe I just want it to so over here. Like I'm just gonna drag it like this, right? You can add anything you want. So that's how you can decorate your scene over here, and that's how we have created a very simple looking game and very simple uh, logics and very simple gameplay. But yes, this is the starting point for you guys, and yeah, Sanskar, I guess we are done.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you're audible.
Okay, just a second. I hope. Okay, ठीक है. So, I guess I'm audible. Yeah. So, ठीक है. So, we have some question with us. The first one, मतलब, can I present the question or do you want to
Yeah,
convey
yeah, sure,
something?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So the first question which we have, that is from Utkarsh Kumar Singh. So he's asking, what are the key challenges when developing multiplayer games?
Okay, so basically, talking about the challenges, I guess, first of all, things have been sorted pretty much by the advancement of tools and technologies provided by the, some, I guess, I don't know if you have heard about how multiplayer games are developed, but we have these SDK supports, right? Like there are some other third party things coming up in and they're helping. Like you don't have to write the multiplayer code from scratch. You can take a help from those particular, packages. Okay. So I guess the main challenge that if you are creating a multiplayer game, first thing is you need to understand multiplayer game, how the game is, going to be working, all the because things are working on internet, high ping rate. Those are very often very challenging things to manage. But it is like if your game is too heavy, right? You are basically doing things in real time. You are updating your uh, you know some things you're updating, you're uploading, downloading things, at very fast rate. So if the game is not optimized, the biggest challenge in the multiplayer game is the optimization part. If it is not optimized properly, there will be lag. There will be uh, some issues. Player will not get that much XP. They will not get very much attached. Do not feel attached with your game. So building multiplayer games, you need to be very careful about the gameplay, the assets that you are having. The assets should not be too much heavy, right? And and also, I guess instead of making everything from scratch, you can take help from these popular SDKs or popular uh, things which are available in the market for free also. Like for example, Photon, if you have heard about it, very popular uh, tool that we have to build multiplayer games. So that is very reliable. So instead of creating your own things, I guess you can take help from that. And multiplayer learning the multiplayer thing is pretty much similar to working on the single player. Like the learning curve is pretty much similar. It's not like you have to learn a new technology itself. It's somehow similar only. So don't have to worry about the learning part for the multiplayer games. Yeah.
Got it, got it. So I hope Utkarsh, you got your answer. We do have multiple questions received from students, so I'll flash it over here. There's one very popular question which is asked by the student, that is how to start a career in this field, like the game development.
Okay. So guys, as discussed earlier, first thing is you need to be aware with the programming language. Now I'm not saying C sharp. There are other languages also, but having programming knowledge is must, I would say. Although there are some things that can be done without code also, but I would say if you want to, uh, build something of very customized on your own, in that way, I would highly suggest to learn a programming language. First thing is a programming language, basics of programming language, getting comfortable with the syntaxes, understanding of object-oriented programming is very important. Okay, and then comes a gaming engine that you can learn. Some popular gaming engines are Unity. Obviously, you can learn Unreal also. You can learn Godot also. Uh, and I guess these are very popular in these years. Might be tomorrow that there might be coming a new engine that you can to. Learning engine is not the thing. Like learning engine will evolve. Engine will change. If new engine will come, old things will get deprecated. But the knowledge of programming will stay with you. So I would highly recommend to whenever you are starting, first make your fundamentals clear, make your basics strong, have a good understanding of OOPs, having a knowledge of data structures is plus. I would say you should know basic data structures also, and then coming to the building part, learn one engine, and
Mhm.
then going along the path, you can learn a bit more about databases, networking, and all that. But
Got it.
that is, I guess, the second step. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So we do have one more question from Likit. So he is asking, sir, how to make a player run constantly and make the environment load if infinitely, like in Subway Surfer and Temple Run.
So, Likit, these things are basically logic based, right? So, when you see that when you're playing Subway Surfers, it's not like everything is like the player can play Subway Surfer for an hour, right? How does the game will know that how much to load, right? It is actually the logic based thing. So, I told you yesterday the camera is rendering, right? What we are seeing in the game. So basically, the logic behind these games is right. Ki, let's say there's a platform which is like 10 units long, right? And the camera starts from zero. So the logic can be as soon as the camera reaches at the five distance. So I have 5 units still left. So the logic is that when the camera reaches at the middle of the platform, then I will create a new platform. So this is known as instantiation, right? So basically, we create these reusable game objects in the game that can be that can be instantiated again and again, right? So on that logic, it actually works. So the camera is like moving, and I am saying that okay, at this point of time, I would be creating a new platform that will be created at the end of this first platform. So the new thing gets added over there. The new platform gets added, and you feel like because you cannot see because that is not getting rendered, so you will not see that far. So you will have a feel that okay, think this is like an infinite platform, right? But you are creating a optimized game, so you have to take care of. You cannot create a whole world which is like 100 units long, right? You have to create 1 unit long, and then when you are at the zero point 0.5 you create next 1 unit. When then you are at next zero point 0.5 you create next 1 unit. That's how it works.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
So I hope, Likit, you got your answer. One more question we have from Kavya Sharma. That, sir, should I start with Unreal as a beginner as C++ seems more easy?
So Kavya, it's I guess if you are comfortable with C++, you are comfortable with syntax of C++. But if I talk about Unreal, so from a beginner perspective, uh, learning Unreal might be a bit more challenging than Unity. Okay, uh, because the interface, the way Unity works is much more easier than Unreal. But I would say it's not like you cannot do it. Obviously, you can do it, but sometimes it might get overwhelmed. Like it might get a bit overwhelming, right? Because there are so many things to understand as a beginner, right? But this will the chances of happening this thing with Unity and C Sharp are a bit less because you have seen that how sorted things are over there. But in Unreal, things are a bit more complicated from the perspective of beginner.
Hmm.
So I would say if you are comfortable with C++, uh, you will also be comfortable with C sharp also because it's just about the fundamentals are same, syntaxes are different with some additional functionalities or maybe some more things that C plus C sharp provides, right? So it's don't worry about this language is difficult, this language is easy. Uh, Language is a language. You have to understand the that for loop is for loop in C++ also and in C sharp also. Maybe the way of writing is different, right? So don't worry about this is difficult, this is easy. You try Unreal and C++. Uh, if you feel it's your cup of tea, continue with it. If you feel like it's a bit overwhelming, switch to C sharp and Unreal, Unity.
Got it. There is one follow-up with that question. That is, C Sharp was easy, but don't got much hands-on on knowledge on that.
Yeah, I answered this one.
Got it. So there's one more question from Likit. That is, sir, how does the time delta, which you have written in the coin script, works?
Okay, so like it basically what happens is when I said that the coin will be moving with some rotation speed on the y-axis, right? Now, the speed which I have defined for the rotation speed is, uh, let's say 5. Okay. Now, that means I am saying that with the 5 speed, it is going to be rotating in my machine. But I have a very advanced machine, a very high processing power it is having, right? So that 5 over there will work according to my frame rate of the computer, of my high-end PC. But if you play the same game in some other PC, it the 5 over there might not work with that speed because the processing power is less of that particular machine. I don't want my game logic or my game updation frame rate to be dependent on the machine configuration. Okay. So that's why I said that I will be multiplying it with time dot delta time so that the time that it is calculating is not dependent on the frame of rate of the computer. I hope that clears your doubt.
Got it. Got it. We hope, Likit, this solves your doubt. One more question which I have, which games actually you play, sir, most of the time?
So I'm not a PC gamer, but I am a console gamer. So I generally play. I don't play much multiplayer online games. I play, I guess, storytelling, story-based games more like,
Hmm.
because I don't have that command of you know, like in the PC it is a good way of like shooting and the real-time games, but it is a bit difficult in the console. So I generally prefer the storytelling and all. And I guess my favorite game. You asked the favorite game, right?
Right, right.
Uh, I think yes, there are a lot of favorite games, but I guess God of War,
Okay.
one of the top favorite games, yeah. And Days Gone,
Mm-hmm.
the zombie one,
Mm-hmm.
and this one, The Last of Us. They have a very
Okay. Yes, The
uh,
Last of Us.
great
Right.
story, yeah.
Got it. Got it. Great. Did you heard about Limbo? There's a game called Limbo, right?
Mm.
जिसमें एक कैरेक्टर रहता है एंड देन वो एक वर्ल्ड में खो जाता है. So there's a game called Limbo. So let it be. Okay. So we have one more question from Kavya. That is, sir, like nowadays, AR VR games are getting more popularity. Can you explain a bit about how they work in VR console? Like you can move in the virtual world like it's a real one.
So how VR console is working? I am not very much familiar with the technology of the VR. But I guess it is more about the motion sensing gyroscopes and all of that thing, right? Like, uh, but yes, if we talk about how games are like, so if you are gonna learn the VR part, the VR development, how to do the VR development, it is also possible in Unity and Unreal. Okay, so we have all these modules. If you want to develop a game for the console of the VR headset you can play it in the VR and all. You can do the same in the Unity also. You can create a game for that. So how the like I don't know the hardware, how the hardware is. I'm not familiar with that. But if you ask about uh, like you can just go you have these packages, you have these websites from where you can download, uh, import the package in your Unity, and you can start
Mhm.
working and creating your 3D world in that.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So I hope Kavya, you got your answer. So last two questions which I have, then we can wind up the session. The first one, which is just a second. Uh, Let me present that. Which is how relevant is the game development in future?
Very much, I would say. Like I can like maybe not I can, but only you can also see the growth in the past, that how much the gaming has become popular, especially
Mhm.
from the COVID era, right? Everyone was at the home and playing games, and everyone is like, indulged in the game so much. And since then, the boom is just increasing and increasing, right? And I don't think in future you will see a decline, that much decline, because people are it's more about it's a kind of a relaxation thing also, right? People are just opening their mobile phone in the free time and playing some hyper casual game and then closing the phone, right? uh,
Right.
so it's more about how much people have been engaged, how much people have been started to engage from last 4 5 years. Like you might have seen the boom that has came in India, because I guess before that, not very much people are aware that game development is also, or game developer is also a profile, a serious profile, right?
Right.
People might not be taking it seriously, maybe, and uh, you might not have heard of some big games coming out of India. Some Indian developers have made a very big global game, but maybe things are changing now, right? People are supporting the startups, the companies, and promoting the gaming startups and all, right? It has been seen, and I guess it is going to grow. And yes, there is a very bright future for gaming in India.
Got it, got it. And एक continuation question sir इसी का था. Is there any impact of AI in game development,
AI, as in
either in terms of
the journey of
development,
the game development, or the impact
journey
on
of it?
jobs.
Both sir, अगर आप दोनों का आंसर दे पाओ.
So obviously, AI will help to make the development process easier,
Mhm.
right? I'm not sure if about the company, but I have heard a news that some company, I forgot the name, but they have developed a a software or a tool in which you can give a prompt, and on the runtime the game is developing, right? So you are telling,
Mm.
okay, now I want my player to do this. So it is actually doing it there only. Like how fast the development has, can be, right? So the development journey will be obviously with the help of AI. It will help to create quality games, I would say,
Mm.
right? People can, uh, like they are stuck on the beginning level only, that things are not working and all, right? Maybe AI can help to solve that, and obviously AI will work. AI is learning, right? The more data you provide, the more things you give to the AI, it is learning from that. And the more it will learn, the more advanced it will be, and the more it will help you to, give better results. So yes, it is a helping hand. AI is helping hand and will be very helpful. Uh, Not just for the game development, I guess for all the other development part also, it will be very helpful. Talking about the jobs, if AI is going to be taking the jobs, I don't think so. Not in coming, like in the near future, maybe not, because AI is not that smart until and unless you make it like you are the one who will make it smart.
Got it, sir.
AI cannot, yeah, AI, like AI will take the jobs which are like where there is no creativity, I guess. The manual work, the redoing of the work, right? But when it comes to so gaming is a creative field.
Hmm.
So I guess it's time. It's not the time that the AI is going to take the job of the gaming side. Yeah.
Got it, got it. So we have one reply from Kavya Sharma, that is that the one which you have mentioned, right? The game industry which they are using AI. So it's, I guess, Roblox team. It's
Roblox.
Roblox. So maybe Roblox is doing something with the AI to better optimize their games or development of the game.
I'm not. I'm completely forgetting. I'm not sure. I guess it's what Ubisoft or something like that. If I'm not wrong.
I
I'll check
heard
again.
about
Yeah, I'll check.
yeah, I heard about कि Ubisoft ने भी कुछ ऐसा किया है. So
Hmm.
it's like that.
Not sure about the Roblox, but yeah, I'll definitely check Fabio.
Got it. One last question, sir. Any game which you want to recommend people to play?
Clash of Clans.
Clash. To be honest, I've never played Clash of Clans. I've never installed it. I've never played that game. I
I
don't know
guess it's
why,
very,
but
very easy to just install and play. You don't have to, go and have a console and all, right?
I'm a
It's a
big fan of
yeah,
FPS games. So I never tried those games which
strategy
are
game. Yeah,
casual. Yeah. So I used to play COD and all. Then previously that PUBG and all came, right? And
yeah, yeah.
it's fine for me, but I have never played Clash of Clan, all those COC we
I
used to
just
play.
want to recommend something very, simple, easy to go,
Hmm.
yet very, very stressful also at the same point of time. So yeah, I guess that is the one I would recommend.
Nice, nice. Got it. So, this is it from my side, and I hope we covered all the questions. And thank you so much, sir, for joining and giving the valuable lessons regarding the project. And it would be great agar we'll come up with the more session like this, because people are telling ki, sir, will come. We also need game development boot camps, more boot camps on the game development. So definitely we'll schedule more coming
Yeah,
boot camp.
I guess you guys show your support. We can come with a fully fledged game dedicated program for game development from
Right.
scratch to, yeah, zero to hero kind of program. We can come up with that also.
Kavya is telling we can do it for 7 days. We will be there. So definitely we'll do that.
We can do it for 2 months also. If you are interested, you show your interest. We can start it from the very scratch, and we can, uh, actually just like a fully fledged uh, game development program. We can plan for it. Uh, if people are interested, if people are there, so obviously we can do that.
Definitely we'll do that.
Yeah,
So yeah, got it. So thank you so much, sir, for joining and
sure.
making this event happen. We will be sharing the assignment as well. So the assignment is very simple, जो सर ने करवाया है during the project time. So anyone can watch it again if they have missed something, and they can do there by self, and they can submit the assignment as well. So this is very quite simple. We'll share the assignment on the batches section, which you have the access on cypherschools.com, and additionally, we will share it on email and the WhatsApp community. So that is it, and there is a surprise for everyone, those who are still there in the session, that we will be giving away the project, one additional project of the game development, and you guys will receive it via email on and you can access that project playlist where the Adhiraz sir have taught to build one another game which is based on the same technology and tool, that is this one, uh, where is it, Unity. So we will share that as well. And yeah, सीए के बाद सबमिशन पक्का, ओके, ओके,
Mhm.
ठीक है, we'll do that, we'll extend the deadlines, no issues. So yeah, that is it from my side, sir. And you want to say anything last word for the audience regarding the game development or anything?
Yeah, I guess just if you guys are like, I hope you guys had fun, you guys have understood, you guys have a better idea on some new technology, how things work, how we deal with programming, how we deal with the engines and all that. It was just a glance, like it was just to introduce you to something new, right?
Hmm.
Even if you are not able to understand the programming part, I can completely understand. It can be, something new has come up. Might not be you might not be able to understand in the first go. It's completely fine, right? We are here. We can arrange sessions for you guys. We can arrange uh, these kind of workshops in the future, or maybe a fully fledged course for you guys to make you prepare even. To make you prepare for the jobs also, right? So
Right.
it's completely fine if we are having that kind of feedbacks from you guys. So once you submit the assignment, you have the feedbacks and all, so you can submit your feedback if we are getting such kind of responses. Obviously, I'm here. I can share whatever I have learned over the years. I can share with you, make you guys help out and help you guys to start your career as a game developer. So I just want to say, have fun, just keep exploring, maybe go to YouTube, start looking at lectures, start learn from YouTube, learn from cycle schools, learn from any platform that you like. Just keep learning. That's what I want to say.
Got it, got it.
Yeah,
So thank you so much, Dhirat sir, for joining, and definitely will come up with a more session. And
sure. Yeah.
yeah, so we'll wind up the session here, and we'll come up with
Okay.
that. Okay. Thank
Okay,
you so
guys.
much.
Thank you very much for joining. I'll see you in some other boot camp sometime. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah. Bye bye. Yeah.
Bye, sir. So, thank you everyone for joining and waiting till the very end. And I know it's too late. And yeah, matlab, Kavya Sharma, it was very interesting session. Hope the bootcamp get converted to a course soon. It definitely will do that. Okay, we'll keep you posted everything whatever you guys need. Okay, and yeah, I will be also sharing the assignment as well, which is there in the community and as well as via email. And you guys work upon the assignment, work on it, submit to us, and then you guys are eligible to get the certificate. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining. This is the last day of the boot camp, and we'll come up with more boot camps as per your demand. You can drop any of the respective domain which you want, okay, in the community as well. We'll pick it and we'll definitely schedule the boot camp for that. Okay. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining everyone. Bye everyone. Bye bye. Bye Kavya. Bye Likit. Bye everyone. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.